Yo, 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 what's up, LA Live gang? This is your boy, AC, back with a special pregame edition of LA Sports Live. We know the Lakers have a big game this evening versus the New Orleans Pelicans. And the first of two, a very short road trip for the Lakers. Uh, Salute to everybody in the chat. Salute to Anthony Davis is number one. AD owns the Pelicans. You gotta be kidding me. AD owns the Pelicans. AD best player in the world. Yeah, we're gonna talk about AD. Matter of fact, we definitely gonna talk about AD in this stream. We got a few topics we want to go over. One being Anthony Davis for sure, and one being this big game, and a couple other things, and then we'll get up out of here. Um, Once again, salute to everybody in chat. Anyway, yeah, yes, indeed. The Lakers have a big game tonight versus the Pelicans. Once again, um, I believe this game is a must win. Um, the Pelicans are right, I believe, are right below us in the standings. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. So, yeah, but pretty much, yeah, it's a must win game. Because I am limited on time, We're gonna jump right into this. Let's see here. We're gonna jump right into this, and let's talk about this man real quick. AD is in the chat. In the chat, he's in the chat. So let's go ahead and talk about him. I see a lot of stuff on Laker Twitter, man. A lot of people, you know, man, you Laker Nation, man, y'all switch up too fast, man. You guys switch up too fast. You give up too fast, man. Yes, AD had a couple bad games, a couple subpar games. He admitted as much in the post game presser after the last Lakers loss versus the New York Knicks, and AD owned it. AD AD owned it. Um, we said he played subpar. His performance, really the last two games, was pretty much subpar. He apologized, and you know what? Usually when this happens from time to time. I salute to everybody in the chat, and I also stayed on Lakers Twitter. Come on, guys, you gotta be reasonable. Um, you know, AD is one of our star players. When he's been healthy, he's been in there, man. He's been carrying. He's been carrying the load, and you gotta get these guys grace to have bad games from time to time. And he's had a couple stinkers in a row, but usually the bright side of that is usually when we've seen this scenario before, and when he's had bad games, he usually cops to it, and he usually comes back and has monster games. And thankfully for us, he's playing against his old team, the New Orleans Pelicans. And he's played now several games against his old team, and he's usually done pretty well. He's usually done pretty well. Like I said, after having these rough spots, he usually bounces back. And historically, since he's been with the Lakers, he's done pretty well against the Pelicans. Um, his numbers versus the Pelicans are pretty good, man. They're pretty decent. His numbers versus the Pelicans are 27 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists in 9 games versus the Pelicans while he's been with the Lakers. So that's a pretty decent sample size. So he usually bounces back. And tonight, the Pelicans definitely will not have Zion, and is looking pretty doubtful. He hasn't been completely ruled out, but pretty doubtful that they will have Brandon Ingram, BI. So that's hey, that's we're gonna take victories any way we can get them, but when you don't have to deal with the likes of Zion Williams and Bi, that just makes things a little bit better. Um, so I think I'm gonna look for a big game for AD. tonight versus the Pelicans. I think it'll be a bounce back game. Um, I think D'Lo, the Laker guards, D'Lo and Dennis and even Beasley, they got to, and Austin Reeves. They really got to look to, and that's another thing we got to talk about later. But we're right in the middle stuff, so we can't dive down the rabbit hole too deep. But these Laker point guards and ball handlers, they got really look. Without LeBron James being in there, they got really look to man to feed the big man. You know, AD a lot of times is too passive, but he needs a bounce back game. And it's not just, I mean, it is up to him to be more aggressive. But like I said, the Laker playmakers, the Laker ball handlers, the Laker point guards, you guys got to really make a concerted effort. For lack of better words, to feed the beast. Anthony Davis is a big guy. Um, he has some playmaking skills, but not that much. So he kind of relies on the playmakers to get him the ball. Man, it's just like, come on, man, you guys got to get this going. Got to get this guy going, man. You got to help him hit the reset button, um, so he can get it going, man. And I think there's nothing better than for him to go up against his old team, the Pelicans. And I agree with you, Reg Dog. Um, I think really that's something the Lakers they got to look into. They got to look into this summer. I don't know if it could be addressed right now, but they got to get AD a legit center, bro. I mean, the year he made the playoff run with Boogie and Rondo, even though Boogie got hurt right before the playoffs, but when they played together, AD and Boogie, man, they had a lot of success. They had a lot of success, and those two, along with Rondo, led the Pelicans to the playoffs. 2020, AD's first year with the Lakers, he had JaVale McGee and Dwight Howard. So anyway, we already know this. There's no need to rehash old stuff, but the Lakers really need to look into, moving forward, this offseason. If they're going to commit to AD long term, they got to get him at center, man. And I'm not talking about, and I don't have any issues. Don't have any issues with Mo Bamba. I don't have any issues with Mo Bamba. The jury's still out on whether he's going to remain with the Lakers next season. Um, but to me, he's lighting the ass, man. I need a real center, somebody with the frame of built like JaVale or even built like Dwight. I mean, I don't. Somebody playing center for the Lakers is not going to help the Lakers when a guy's more frail and fragile than Anthony Davis himself. Mo Bamba, what is Mo Bamba like 225? I mean, come on, bro. You can't. What is what kind of banging is somebody that's 7 feet 220? What kind of banging is he gonna do? You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm just saying, man. They need to really commit to helping him and getting a real center. That's just my opinion on it. Um, so that's that. And here's another thing we got to look at. Um, we got the game versus the Pelicans, and this is the first half of a back to back. This is really an important game. We got to get this victory over the Pelicans to keep them at bay in the standings, to stay above them in the standings. But also, let's not forget, like I just said, this is the first half of a back to back, and um, and the Lakers and Anthony Davis, even though he said he's feeling fine, they are still monitoring the injury, and a lot of people forgotten that he will require surgery in the offseason to totally alleviate some lingering issues from this injury, and so they are going to rest him. They are going to rest him, and like I said, this is a back to back. And with the Lakers playing Houston tomorrow, it would be nice to get this game under our belt to get a victory over the Pelicans, and so they could possibly rest AD tomorrow versus the Rockets. I mean, you know, I know the Rockets are one of the worst teams in the league, but there's no guarantees. But if you're going to look for a spot to get him some rest, This would be a good time. Like I said, second half of a back to back. We're playing the Rockets. There's no gimme wins at all. But I know the Lakers. That's probably that's somewhere in the conversation. There's somewhere in the conversation with you know what the Lakers are trying to do. The last game he set out, Darvin Ham said this was pre-planned, and I believe the Lakers were able to get a dub. And thankfully, like I said, thankfully we're just playing the Rockets, so it'd be nice. Like I said, just get a win out of the way. I'm still gonna predict the win versus the Rockets, whether he plays or not. But it would still be nice to at least solidify 500 on this short 2 game road trip, and with us winning the first game, and just get the victory out of the way. But anyhow, to sum it all up, you guys don't panic. Don't panic. AD had a couple bad games. I think he's going to bounce back, but let's not fall into the habit of bashing the dude every time he has a little hiccup, man. Because we know, man, he's not. You know, I think he's really developing into a leader and possible number one, but I don't think he's gotten there just yet. Daniel Berry Sports. What's up? Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. What's up, my brother? If you're new, make sure you subscribe and hit that like button. So that's it, man. I think don't fret, guys. I think everything will be go to our next topic here, man. Our next topic. Okay, here's another thing. Laker Nation, you guys are kind of panicking a little bit. Let's see what he's saying. Now, hold on now. All right, guys, let me hurry up and wrap this up. Malik Beasley, man, again, Laker Nation, Laker fans, Laker Twitter, man, y'all flipping out on Malik Beasley. Now there might be an issue. There might be an issue with Malik Beasley. Beasley, he is in a little bit of shooting slump, and I did take the time to go over his numbers, and it might be a little bit cause for concern. I don't think it's a situation where we need to remove him from the starting lineup or anything like that. We got to keep the threat there. Just because he might be in a little slump, I don't think you do anything rash like putting him on the bench. But let's take a look at a couple things I did uncover that did kind of raise the eyebrow a little bit. Something the Lakers got to keep their eye on. But again, I think you keep them locked in there. I think you keep them locked in as a starter. We have seen his minutes reduced a little bit, but just hold your horses on Malik Beasley just for right now. But let me tell you what I did uncover, and maybe a cause for concern. Yeah, like I agree with you, Reg Dog. I think he's fine, but let me just tell you about a couple of things I did uncover, and then we'll just have to keep our eye on it now. In his 12 games with the Lakers, Malik Beasley he's averaging 26 minutes, 11.3 points per game. He's shooting 37, uh, 37% from the field, 3.7 rebounds, 1.4 assists. With the Lakers, he's shooting I guess you could say uh, a disappointing 32% from threes. That's in his time with the Lakers this season, and his free throws. He's only shooting. I don't know how many free throws he shot with the Lakers, but he's only shooting 66% from free throws. Okay, but here's the two or three numbers that I uncovered that might be a cause for alarm. Some of you guys might call it the Lakers curse, but here's the situation here. Now, like I said earlier, Malik Beasley, he's shooting 37% from the field um, combined. Now, previously this year with Utah, he's shooting 39%. So that, his percentage, his overall shooting percentage has gone down a couple points with the Lakers. Now, let's look at his 3 point. Well, first of all, let's go to his free throw percentage. Now, with Utah this season, he was shooting 84% from the line. That's damn good. Damn good. Now, I don't know how many free throws he shot with the Lakers, but with Lakers, his free throw percentage has plummeted to 66%. That's bad. Okay, for a guy who's a shooting guard, who's a shooter, um, when your free throw percentage drops 20% from 84, almost 20% to 66, that's an issue. That shouldn't be. It shouldn't be, man. Your free throw percentage shouldn't drop 20%. Just by changing teams. You could be a few points off, but shouldn't be 20%. Now, 3 pointer percentage um, prior prior to him coming to the Lakers, he was shooting 35.9% from three. And he's a volume shooter. So he shoots a lot of threes, not two or three, but you guys see he shoots a lot of threes. And still, so that basically breaks down to 36% from three. That's good. But with the Lakers, now he done dipped to 32%. Now, like I said, what I feel is you leave him in there, and a player of Beasley's caliber, he'll figure it out. But that is kind of cause for a little bit of concern. It's only been 12 games, but I'm not even looking at his overall shooting percentage. I'm just looking at threes when he's dropped, almost 4 percentage points, and his free throws has almost dropped 20 percentage points. That's not good. And we've seen a situation before where players come to the Lakers. They're supposed to be these great shooters, and then something happens where they just can't make shots anymore. So I don't know. Hope this is not the case with Malik Beasley, but let's just keep our eye on it. Let's just keep our eye on it. Uh, I'm about to remove myself from the stream. No, I don't want to do that. Okay, one more issue, and then we got to get out of here. Let's talk about the schedule now. Um, the Lakers are sitting here, man, with a record of what, 33-35, 14 games left, 2 games below 500. But there is, a good thing. There's just so many different things you can look at it, so many different ways you can look at it. Um, Going moving forward. Now, I did a little bit of research, and moving forward, the Lakers have they have the 30th most difficult. Excuse me. The Lakers have the easiest schedule moving forward. If you look at the ranks, if you look at the ranking, you look at all the remaining games for all the teams. The Lakers are ranked 30th, which means they have the easiest schedule moving forward. So that would bode in the Lakers' favor. But again, even though they have the easiest schedule, a lot of these teams are in their division. A lot of these teams, some of these teams that they're playing are going to be fighting for playoff spots themselves. So I think the whole point of the matter, it ain't going to be easy. It ain't going to get easy. Let's go through the games real quick, one by one, and I think I have an idea about how the Lakers um, will fare in these games and how they end the season, what their record will be. Now I'm predicting a win tonight and tomorrow night. Fuck. Anyway, I'm predicting back to back victories versus the Pelicans and um, the Rockets. So that will get the Lakers finally back to 500. Um, Next, after that, we take on the Dallas Mavericks at home and the Orlando Magic at home. I'm going to predict back to back victories again, two more victories in a row. And that will get the Lakers to 37 and 35, two games above 500. Next, we got at home, we got the Suns and we got the OKC Thunder. I'm going to say that the Lakers split those games. I'm going to predict a loss versus the Suns and a win versus the Thunder. And that will keep the Lakers still above 500 by two games with a record of 38 and 36. Um, Up next, we have a home and away with the Bulls. I'm going to predict that the Lakers yet again going to split with the Bulls, and after the second game with the Bulls, they will maintain a record of two games above 500 at 39 and 37. Um, Next, we have two more games on the road. One versus Minnesota, one versus the Rockets again, and I'm going to what I got here. I got two more victories in a row, so that will put the Lakers up record at 41 and 37. Four games above 500. After that, we have a game at Utah. I'm going to, by that time, things will be winding down. Utah should be in full tank mode. I'm going to put the Lakers at that point 42 and 37, five games above 500. And the remaining three games of the season, um, we'll have our final showdown with the Clippers. Um, I'm just going to go with my predictions. Um, we got the Clippers, Suns, and Utah um, in our last three games. The Clipper game is actually uh, a Laker roll game, but it'll be at Crypto. But I'm gonna give the Lakers a loss versus the Clippers, a win versus the Suns, and the end of the season, the last game versus Utah. I think a lot of people will rest, and that would end. That would give the Lakers a record. And I'm gonna give the Lakers a loss in that game, but that would end them with a record of 40, 43 and 39. So again, that puts them what 4 games above 500. So I think the Lakers are going to end the season with a record of 43 and 39. That will put them 4 games above 500. And uh, based upon the standings, um, based upon um, if you look at Phoenix, Phoenix has a tough schedule, but I think they'll still kind of hang. If you look at the Mavs, they have an easy schedule, so they'll still be in the mix. And if you look at the T Wolves and the Clippers, they have kind of tough schedules. T Wolves number 10, Clippers number 15, respectively. With all that being said, like I said, I got the Lakers finishing 4 games above 500, and I think that would be good enough based upon what the other teams will be doing, based upon the teams who were chasing or who right above us, like the Clippers, the Mavs, and then the Mavs, the T Wolves, and the Clippers. Um, and with the Mavs having a pretty tough schedule, so we got to eclipse the Mavs and the T Wolves, and then the next will be the Clippers. Well, I don't know, but I think that'll be good enough for maybe fifth. I don't know, maybe sixth, but it might be good enough to be fifth. Um, to finish in the West. That's what I'm predicting, and what I'm really predicting, I'm thinking the teams are pretty much going to hold for the most part, hold their spots. I guess you would say we'll go with Denver number one. Whatever it's going to be, but I think the Lakers are probably end up with the fifth spot, and that's just with barely being a few games, 4 games above 500. The Lakers are very, very lucky, I think, to be ending the season 4 games above 500, simply because the fact of their 2-10 start. Their 2-10 start. Um, as you guys can see, at this point in the season, um, we still haven't been able to give us that hump. I think we'll like I surpass it, like pretty soon on this upcoming homestand. But that was such a horrible start. And it's taking us damn near the whole season. It's going to damn near take the whole season, damn near 80, 70 games. I think that will probably be the Lakers' 70th game where I finally have them getting a couple games, 3 games above 500, and staying there for the remainder of the season. Right now, Ingram, I believe, he's questionable. So he may or may not play. I'm going to say he's not going to play, but if he does, then that just makes things a little bit more difficult. But that's what I'm looking at, man. That's what I'm looking at for the Lakers. Uh, they do have, like I said, I repeat, they do have the hardest. Excuse me, I'm talking about the hardest. They have the easiest. Their schedule is ranked number 30 right now in the league. Their schedule remains scheduled ranked number 30th, so that means they have the easiest schedule. So that plays in their favor. That bodes in their favor. Um, And actually, I was mistaken when I said earlier the Mavs schedule is ranked 27th. So they have a pretty easy schedule too. So we're going to have to watch the scoreboard. We're going to have to watch what the Mavs do. And we got to watch because that's the team closest to us. And then the T-Wolves and the Clippers. The Clippers are right in the middle of the pack as far as strength of schedule, and the T Wolves are in the top 10. Their schedule remains schedule is 10th. So I think we can look for the T Wolves to maybe fall back, and then we're just gonna have to just keep an eye on the scoreboard as far as the Mavs and what the Clippers are doing. The two teams immediately ahead of us. I didn't bother to look at the Warriors because I'm not really worried about them in a possible playoff matchup. I ain't really worried about them, so we'll see. But anyway, guys, I got to cut this live stream short, man. People keep calling me, and I got business to take care of. I just want to come through and do a pregame. Salute to the chat. Salute to everybody coming through. I think we get a W tonight. I think a big bounce back game for AD. We can get the W tonight. The team can jump on the plane, go into H-Town, and I'm looking for AD to possibly rest tomorrow on the second half of a back-to-back. And then if that's the case, I don't know, but if that's the case, then D-Lo and the rest of the gang, they're just going to have to do their thing and next man up. And but whether he plays or not, they should be able to beat the Houston Rockets on the road. Anyhow, sorry about that, guys, man. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Anyway, it's your boy, AC, LA Sports Live. Thanks to you guys for tuning in. Salute to everybody in the chat. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. And go Lakers. I will wrap with y'all later.